Hi there, Laura here from Get Organized HQ, and welcome to my 2025 gift guide. Now, I've done gift guides in the past, but this one is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to focus on really thoughtful gifts that you can give to the special people in your life. We're going to be talking today about a lot of gifts that you can't necessarily just walk into Walmart or Target and buy. So these will feel extra unique and special to the people that receive them. We're also going to focus on building bundles of related items because I think when you receive a carefully curated group of items that go together, it shows even more thought and intention behind the gifts. So I will show you how you can build bundles that cover all different price ranges from like under $20 all the way up to hundreds of dollars for whatever fits your gift budget. Now, it should go without saying that an amazing gift to give anyone that is 100% clutter-free are experiences. But I've actually talked about that in all my previous gift guides that are linked down below, so I'm not going to cover that here. I'm going to start with what I'm just calling the general bundle, and I can hardly think of anyone who couldn't use these items. So if it's someone that you just aren't sure what they would love, almost anyone could use these. And I'm going to start by building it if you can only have the budget for one item, but then if you want to make it a little bit bigger, here's the next thing I would add, and the next thing, and the next thing, so you can just go in order and build the bundle based on your own budget, or you could adapt it to your own needs. So we're going to start with the 1 line a day journal. Now, I actually have used these as a gift. I gave these to my team on our retreat earlier this year. I absolutely love this journal. It's easy to get. I got it on Amazon. It's an elevated quality. Like, it's a nice linen cover, very well done. It has a marker. It has these like glossy edges, so it feels premium, but it's only in the neighborhood of $15. I'm not going to be able to give exact prices because Amazon fluctuates and they don't want me to say exact prices, but I will try to give you an idea. So all it is it has a date for all 365 days of the year, and then it says 20, and then you fill in the year. So here I put 25, then I'll do 26, 27, 28, 29. So over the years, I will build up to where I can look back over 5 years. I also like how small it is. It can go anywhere. You can see how I've written in this one, just that top area, and then I can fill out as I go. So this is just super fun and easy for absolutely anyone. Then, to layer on, if you want to elevate the gift, I highly recommend these Sarasa brand pins. I recently discovered these, and y'all, I'm obsessed with these, okay? Some of the best pins I have ever used. So you can see it comes in lots of super fun colors. And one of the things that I love so much about these pins is they are one of the thinnest writing pins I've ever used. And when it specifically comes to this particular journal, the reason they go so well is if you can see, these lines are actually pretty small. We're fitting a lot of text. So the thinner the writing, the better it works. So it's also very rich ink, very vibrant colors. And so I highly recommend these particular pens for this journal. And who doesn't love pretty pens? Now, if you want to take this up even a notch further, I highly recommend this monogrammed notepad from Rifle Paper Company. You can see it's a very simple notepad. The monogram is right here, so I got my last name, and then you can see that the edges of the notepad also have the beautiful design. And I think this is extra special because you cannot walk into Target and buy yourself a monogrammed notepad, and it's very specific to the person. Now, if you want to add to this even further, I love this Rifle Paper Company sticky note set. First of all, it's just so beautiful. It's so compact. Like, I can imagine this in my purse or my junk drawer or by my desk. It's going to look lovely. You open it up and it has a notepad here. There is no sticky on this particular one. And then all of these have sticky. So we have the little flags, beautiful design, a border that's pretty, and then one that says notes. Just goes together so nicely. You could even do a nice presentation in a basket or something like that. And then if you want to take it up one more notch, this pen from Rifle Paper Company, again, really special, not something that I think a lot of people would necessarily buy for themselves, but it looks really nice. And like with one of these like monogram notepads, It just goes perfectly, and it also matches and kind of coordinates, but I still think this coordinates with it, and all of this could go together really nicely. Next up, let's talk about what you can get specifically for the book lover in your life. You probably know who this is. So I would start with this tumbler. Now, everyone can use a tumbler, right? And this one is so neat. It looks like a library card. I also love how this is printed very vividly and is kind of raised, and almost anyone could use like another tumbler. Like, who couldn't? So I'd start there. That's only $20 retail. You might be able to find it on sale from Pippi Post, one of my favorite brands. Now, if you want to take this up another notch, I highly recommend this book journal from Rifle Paper Company. This is a premium journal. This is not just something that you're going to go to the Dollar Tree and buy. First of all, it's a beautiful linen. It has nice gold detailing. This is like literally like embroidered on with thread. Like, you can feel it. So the cover, it just feels elevated and premium. I love that. And so there's two different colors that it comes in with these nice books. You open it up, it includes a bookmark, a little library card looking thing, which is extra special, a little book plate, and then you'll have a list of books to read that you can fill out. Then it has a reading log where you keep track of the title, the author, and the rating of the book. Love this. Followed by a books borrowed and a books lent out. So if you have a library and you're wanting to do that, and then it goes into the book reviews. So it has 4 pages for each book review, the title, the author, some details, a summary, quotes, some different notes, and then it goes into the next one. So this is where people can keep a log of everything that they've read. It also has a ribbon in it to keep your spot, and it also makes it feel even more premium. This one retails for about $34. Also watch for sales. Now, to go with a journal, obviously you need pens, and I highly recommend these Grabby brand pens. I got these a few weeks ago and I'm totally obsessed. My kids are also obsessed. First of all, aren't they super cute? They look like pencils. They're actually pens. Now, to use them, you actually twist right here and it pops out the writing part of it, and it actually erases. They are super vibrant colors. They erase super well. I'll show you how it works. So I'm just going to pick a random page and I'm going to show you how, first of all, it just writes so smoothly. Beautiful colors. They have all different sets, sizes of sets and groupings of colors. And then you just erase and you can hardly even tell that you wrote it. It's far better than some of the other brands of erasable pens that I have used. Love these. I would totally add these on to make an even nicer bundle. Then I'm in love with this coloring book that I got. It's for adults. It's from Pippi Post, the same place that I got this tumbler. And look at these designs. I like that they're not too difficult. So I'm a new to adult coloring. I haven't done it a lot. I do not like detailed, intricate designs. So something like this is perfect. You could also pair it with some nice markers or alcohol markers, something like that, so that the person could color, and it just goes so nicely. Like, look at how nice this is already looking and how special and curated it's looking. All right, now, if you want to take this up one notch further, a lot of times people who love books also love puzzles, and we have these book-specific puzzles from Pippi Post. I've had these for a few years. I buy every single one that they have. They actually make 5 different ones. So these are the 5 different ones that they make. You could get them all, or you could get just one of them. They're themed. We do these like all the time. Like, we've probably done each one of these at least 6 times. My daughter and I do them together. We can do them probably in about 45 minutes, which is one of the things that I love. They're not going to stay out on our table forever. Comes with a little poster. And then these are very high quality pieces. Very thick, very vibrantly printed, very nice. The one thing I will say is, my only criticism is that they're so similar that sometimes it's hard to tell what piece goes where, which means that I do not do the edges first. I will have to redo them. I do them last on this puzzle. They're also just real easy because it's really clear what book each piece goes to. super fun. And this would be a super duper special gift for book and puzzle lovers. Next up, we have our relaxation bundle. And so let's start that with these shower steamers. Now, I love shower steamers, especially for gifts, because not everyone has a bathtub or wants to take baths, but everyone pretty much I know takes showers. And so these are basically like a bath bomb, but for showers. They're also a lot cheaper. You just unwrap it, you place it in your shower, and it gives off this fragrance from the steam of the shower. And these come in all different sets and styles. So I'll link to one down below that's only in the neighborhood of $10. You could, if you wanted bigger sets, of course, you could go up from there. But I think that set would feel very nice and luxurious. And then this is something we don't often think about when it comes to, relaxation. I could not live without these. These, one of my favorite purchases of the last couple years, is these music cozy headphones, okay? Now, it looks like one of those bands, you just put around like this. I won't put it on because I got makeup on and it will get all over it. But you just put it around. The headphone part is right in here. So it's very soft against your ears. And then there's controls right here. So you could adjust the volume, things like that. Of course, they connect wirelessly to your phone. And here's why I love these. First of all, the most comfortable headphones I have ever worn in my entire life. And I have very sensitive ears. I have seriously 5 different pairs of headphones because after I wear one for an hour or two, my ears start to hurt. All the kinds, the open ear, everything. So this one is by far the most comfortable. It's also very comfortable when I'm going to sleep. I can fall asleep on it without worrying that I'm going to poke my eardrum or hurt myself. You can totally sleep in these. So when you're having trouble sleeping, perfect for that. And if you sleep with someone else in your bed that doesn't want to hear things, headphones are very nice for that. So this is a perfect relaxation. These range usually $30 or less. Now, this is the second one I've tried. This one is so much better than the last one because these don't scoot around as much. And the last one I had, they scooted around way, way too much. And also it's way easier to charge. You just charge it right here. It's a universal USB-C charger. You probably have those already. So super handy. And I love that I don't have to fish a wire out to charge them. So this would be excellent for a relaxation bundle. Also for somebody who might be having surgery or something like that. I enjoyed these when I've been recovering from surgery, just little things like that to make life easier. You could also, of course, include things like slippers, robes. I'm assuming, I'm not going to show those here because I think we all kind of know what those are, probably have those ideas already. Obviously chocolate, I would go with whatever their favorite chocolate or candy or treat is, if they love coffee, if they love hot chocolate, things like that. So that's going to be very dependent on the person. If you want some luxury chocolate, Vogue's chocolate is the one that I recommend. This is true luxury chocolate with luxury prices. But if you have a true chocolate lover, I think they will appreciate that. But if you really want to take this to the next level, this is next level. This is by far and away the most expensive gift I am showing in this gift guide. You probably can't tell from this thing. It is the Dyson Coanda 2X. I did not name this thing. I think it's a ridiculous name, but regardless, it is the follow-up to their Air Wrap. It comes in this very nice, you talk about luxury, this whole experience feels completely luxurious. It's felt lined. I don't have it in here right now, but all the pieces would be in here in this felt lined box. So it's the epitome of luxury. It's by far the most luxurious hair tool on the market. And let me show you how it works and why I actually splurged on this for myself. So I have pretty long hair. At times it's been even longer. It grows pretty fast. It's very thick. I spend a lot of time drying my hair, straightening it. Before I got this product, I never even curled it because it took so long. It wouldn't hold the curl. Now I can curl it really, really fast and it doesn't have to be dry, which is amazing. And I only have one tool. So this is actually the hair dryer. And all you do is you press this button and now I have a hair dryer. Then when I am okay, I want to take off the hair dryer and I can use there's a round brush attachment. That one I don't personally use as much. Then this straight brush attachment. So as soon as I'm done with this and have it mostly dry, I'll spend just a couple minutes with this, obviously with it on, and it makes the hair so smooth and nice. And I love that I don't have to have multiple hair tools. I sit at a little vanity area, and so there's not a lot of space to store tools. So I love that it's only one tool. Also, when I travel, only having one tool, because I like having my own hair tool, because again, the really thick, soft hair. Then you curl it with this gadget, and I will insert some footage of me curling. All you do is you grab a little section of hair, you turn it on, put it in front of the hair, and it naturally wraps the hair around, which is so easy and means that I went from curling my hair like every other year to now I curl it a couple of times a month or more. It's so easy, and it doesn't damage your hair, and your hair doesn't have to be completely dry, which was always the obstacle before I got this. So while it is a huge splurge, it is one of the more worth it splurges in my opinion. So if you want to add this to your own wish list, or get this for someone who is really special to you, you really can't go wrong with this gift. Our next bundle is for those who love games, or families, especially families with slightly older kids. These would be perfect for. So we're going to start with the game called ᴅᴇ. Now, these games in particular I got because pretty much anyone could enjoy these games. They don't require you to love intricate games or games with tons of strategy, and they can be picked up and played really quickly. So we got this recently. We were at a toy shop and we just bought it on a whim. It looked fun. And within 1 to 2 minutes, we were all playing it, none of us having had previous experience, including my 9 and 11-year-old. So that's one of the things that I love about it. I think you're looking in the neighborhood of around $30 for this one. It comes with a lot of dice. The basic premise is ridiculously simple. Every person gets a set of dice, and then you start rolling the dice, and you want all 10 to match. So you'll save whichever ones are the same number, and then you keep rolling, everyone's rolling at the same time, super easy. And then as soon as someone gets 10 of the same, they yell out ᴅᴇ, and they won that round. It's literally that simple. So I love that about it. It's also pretty small. Then if you want to take it up another notch, you can buy the expansion pack here. So we got this expansion pack. It has these nice little cards. It's full of cards. And then there's all different ways of playing it. So this one would be you put this in the middle and everyone is trying to get this exact combination of dice. This one is re-rollsy. Anyone can shout re-roll at any point and everyone has to start over. Re-roll can only be called once. You have sixy. Everyone rolls 10 dice, any sixes that are rolled. So you're trying to roll all sixes. So there's just so many different variations once you have this game. Now you could look this up online. You don't have to have these individual cards. It's just kind of fun if you have the cards that are made for it, but you could also look online and get the same idea and play all different versions of this game. So this game is perfect for everyone and is not too bad for travel because you can see how little space it takes up. Now, if you want another game that is also very quick and easy to learn, good for everyone, it's called ʟᴏᴜ. This is kind of going semi-viral on TikTok. I've seen tons of ads for it, so I eventually bought it. And again, the premise of this one is very simple. I would say I actually enjoyed this one a little bit more than ᴅᴇ, but they were both fun. So you can see how it includes these different blocks. So everyone, there's numbers on them, and everyone gets a set of blocks. So everyone is working with the exact same blocks. Then you have the cards. There's 4 levels that come with it. I think there are expansion packs that you could buy. And you'll draw a card, you'll put it in the center, and so everyone is working to build this exact pattern out of the different blocks. So it's really that easy. And typically I would say if you're on level 1 or 2, it usually takes just a minute or 2. It does not take long at all. If you're on levels 3 or 4, we've had some of them take up to 5 minutes to figure out, but it's not very hard. It's really easy to learn. These are lightweight. They look, I don't know if they look it, but they're very lightweight. They're hollow on the inside. It comes all put together. There's no real assembly required, you're not sticking the stickers on or anything like that. So this is another great, easy to learn group game. I would say that these would also work relatively well for even littler children. 4-year-olds could probably figure out how to roll the dice and get the same number. And even 4 or 5-year-olds, I think, could do pretty well at making the easier patterns on this. Now, if you really want to take things up a notch, I highly recommend these vintage bookshelf games, okay? Now, they've been adding more all along. There's so many of them now. They look beautiful on a bookshelf, and they're real games. I mean, we use these all the time, but you can see how nice they look on a bookshelf. So they really look like books, but they're actually games. They're amazingly good quality. And I will say, of every, like, I don't know if I'd really call these a decor piece, but of every item I have in my home, I have gotten more comments and compliments on these games than any other item in my home. So people absolutely do love these. And even if you already own, say, Scrabble, for example, I would personally be thrilled to get this version of Scrabble and be able to donate my old version. And we did. We had some of these games already and we replaced them. I also love that they are out in our living room so people actually play them. Like, having screen-free activities available that are so easy to play is really important to me, and I love that. I love our home being a place where people just feel like they can go grab a game and like enjoy it. Now, I will also say another thing I love about these games, okay, this will surprise no one, is how neatly organized all the items are in every game. So you have specific spots in these, like, I call these die casts, they're felt lined, to store your game. So there's no question about like where do things go. They have a very specific spot in all the games. Also, a lot of people want to know, like, how do you do this? They do fold up the actual boards pretty nicely, and you really can't tell when you're using them that they've been folded so much. So like, this is what the Scrabble looks like when it's out. It's very easy to play. And then you just fold it up like this. Very easy to return to its spot. Now, these are a little bit pricier, ranging usually from $40 to $50. I did, pro tip, find these at like TJ Maxx and Home Goods once for only like $20, but I only found like 3 or 4 of them. That's a little hard to do. I wouldn't count on that. They are just premiumly priced. There is not a lot of ways around that. Obviously, you do not have to get every single one that they make. They've been making more as the years go by, so you could just start with the most popular or what you know that person loves. Next up, I have a beautiful bundle that is for those in your life who love to plan and organize. I actually put this together recently for a charity auction, and when I saw it all together, I thought, wow, that is such a fun gift. So I want to share it with you. So I'm going to start with these little mini notebooks. They are only $10 each, and you can even get a grouping of that for a little bit less. And we have several different designs in our shop. They just are lightly lined inside, so they're perfect for throwing in your purse, for putting in your nightstand, in the junk drawer to take notes, so you don't have all those loose papers sitting around. Almost anyone could use one of these. And then if you want to take it up a level, I would highly recommend including our 2026 Get Organized HQ Planner. It comes in this shipping box, and then this is the outer box that it comes in, the keepsake box. So again, this gift is going to look so coordinated and beautiful when you put it all together. This one says cause some smiles today. It comes with this lovely keepsake box that says 2026 right on the side of it. And then the planner is inside, of course, nicely wrapped. All right, it's your annual planner for 2026. You can see how it has this pocket in here. And so with this notebook, if you get it with it, it can go right in there, which is so nice. And then it includes a little bit of simple instructions on how to use the planner in the beginning, what it was intended for. It has some built-in goal setting all in one. And then we get into the monthly layout. And then there's a layout, one spread for each week. So anyone who loves organizing, planning, pretty things, there's also a pocket in the back, would absolutely love this. Then if you want to take it up another notch, I would include some nice pins. I mentioned these earlier in the video in another bundle, but I'm going to mention them again here because I've been obsessed with these pins lately. They're super nice. They have really nice grips. They look like a pencil, so they're really cute. You twist the top to make them right, and then they erase really, really nicely. So that would be great to use with your planner. And then if you would like to take it up even another notch, I would recommend getting this binder. This is our home headquarters binder, and people who love organizing are gonna be like totally in love with this thing. So first of all, again, it comes in this beautiful box. So look at how nice these are looking all together. And then it is basically like the brain of your home already printed and assembled for you so that you just open it up and start filling it out. So it's got these nice, beautiful tabs. And I just love giving gifts that are really pretty. So, you know, you've got your finances, it's got food, cleaning, celebrations, self-care, family, miscellaneous. So everything that you need to run your household is right here in one place in this beautiful binder. So that would be a great way to take the gift up another notch. Then if you're looking for another little something, this habit tracking notebook, it's again the same size as these cute little notebooks, but it's got a place to track different habits throughout the year, which is super fun. And those people who are all into organizing would totally love that. And then if you want to really level up the whole thing, I highly recommend this Cricut Joy. First of all, isn't it super cute? It's teeny tiny. You know, so even if a person doesn't have a whole lot of space, they can easily use this. And it basically does anything that the big one does, just like obviously on a smaller scale, but particularly you can make greeting cards, but you can also make those beautiful labels that you see, the vinyl labels that are stuck on, you know, items or labels. So many people who love organizing or a little bit of crafting would absolutely love this. It makes a great gift. So if you put all this together, it's gonna look definitely gonna look really special and gonna appeal to those people who love organizing. Next, I want to talk about gift bundles for the children in your life, whether it's your own kids, your grandkids, nieces, nephews, whoever it is. These would make some fantastic gifts. So we are going to start with this Mom and Me journal. There's also a Dad and Me journal. This is sold from Rad and Happy. As far as I know, that's the only place you can get it. And first of all, it's super cute. It's very well done. This is like a leatherette style cover, really pretty. And then this is designed for the mom to write on this side, give it to the daughter, and she writes on this side, and then you go the next one, mom writes on this side, daughter writes on this side, and I will, each page is the same. There's also a nice page marker, which I think elevates the experience, but it gives you prompts, which I think is really nice because without prompts, it can be hard to know what to say. So you're gonna write something that made you happy today, a question I have for you, something I'm struggling with, my response to your last entry, so that question that you wrote, and other thoughts. So it's a great way if you just wanna open communication and dialogue. Sometimes kids are actually more comfortable writing something down and they don't necessarily wanna talk about it. We did this every day for a while, and then we kind of put it away for a while and we brought it back out. So there's one for Mom and Me, and there's one for Dad and Me, or you can get them as a bundle. So that would be great for your own kid. Then, if you want to take it up a notch, the grabby pins. I think this is the third appearance they have made in this video, but love these. You open them like this. They are erasable. Kids in particular, I like giving them erasable pins, and my kids, ever since I got these, have been like obsessed with these. They're their favorite pins. Every time they come into my office, they want to use these. So they are also kid tested and would be perfect for using in this journal. Next up, this is really fun and unique. I got these from Pippi Post, and these are indoor busy ideas. So it comes in this really nice tin. They have other themes. They have outdoor and other themes as well. So you could get multiple, or you could choose the one that you like the best. It's like a deck of cards, as you can see. So it like has, you know, a uniform design on one side. But the idea is you pull one out and it gives you an idea for something to stay busy, screen-free, indoor. So do indoor yoga, play soft music and dim lighting for the full effect. Or here's one I'm just gonna pull out that says, use a karaoke machine or a microphone and sing along to your favorite songs. I'll read one more. Use cardboard boxes, tubes, and other recyclables to build a cityscape, include buildings, roads, and parks. So it gives your kids some fun ideas. My kids really loved this when I brought it out. I would also encourage you, like what I plan to do is get it out, they use it for like a week, then put it away for 2 or 3 months. And when you get it out again, it feels new again because the novelty kind of wears off. I also love that they have multiple packs of this. Next, along the same vein, my kids have really enjoyed this book, and it's a really nice quality book. It's well done. It's even got a ribbon. You can see how big it is. Like, wow. There's just all sorts of things in here. My daughter, I think she literally kind of read it. I don't think you're really supposed to read it cover to cover, but she enjoyed looking through it for a long time, and it has all sorts of ideas of things that the kids can do. These are great for like cold days, rainy days, school breaks, things like that. Or when they say they're bored, you can be like, here you go. Here's an entire book of things to do. So this is just a really nice book to have around. My next recommendation and last recommendation for this bundle, it's the splurgiest item, I think around $70 for this Yodo player. We have had these for many years, and it's one of my best kid-related purchases ever. I highly recommend the mini over the larger one. First of all, it's cheaper. It has 20 hours of battery life, and we just love it. It's also obviously smaller than the larger one, so I would recommend getting this one. And it is great for kids probably as young as 2 or 3 because of how simple it is to use. You just stick the card in, like literally that's all you do, and it starts playing after you press the power button. So again, for little kids, it works really well because they, even like 2-year-olds, can figure out, oh, I just stick this in and it starts playing. And if you lose the cards, that's fine. They're actually on your phone, so don't stress about that. And my kids now are 9 and 11, and they both still use them on a near daily basis. And I think they'll actually use them until they get a phone, which is still a ways in the future for our family. So probably until they're 15 or 16, they'll still be using this because, first of all, you can buy all of these different cards that come with it. My kids actually love the ones that the Yodo company themselves make. It's like the science fair ones. They have a lot of fun factual ones and learning ones, inventor series. My kids, that's one of their favorites. They absolutely love them. So I have all of those. They also make cards that are like, they didn't originally create it, but like other book recordings. But in addition to that, you can create your own. So you get this little card, it's blank, and you create your own cards out of any downloadable file. So this is Libro.fm, has books that you can buy, and once you buy them, you can download them, and you can link any book to a card. So I've been linking Restart, Gordon Corman's books. They've been obsessed with those. So Restart, Ungifted, Super Gifted, Old School. He has a ton. They've been obsessed with those. So I've been buying those on Libro and linking them to cards for them because I don't like them to have any screens at all in their bedrooms. I don't let them have iPads or computers. They don't have phones. So especially as they get a little bit older, having this method of them being able to listen to something, but I know there's just no way that they could access like any screen on this, is very comforting to me. So I don't feel bad about them having them in their bedroom. If they can't sleep, they have an assortment of cards. They can choose to play this. Very independent. It also works great in the car. You do plug headphones into it, or it has a speaker. So either way, most often they'll listen with headphones, any kind of headphones you can plug in. You can get them from the Yodo company, or you can just, use your own headphones. I also have made various books of the Bible and link them to cards. So there's several places online where you can download the entire Bible for free. I have a kind of narrated audio version that I've linked up several versions. My goal is to get them all so they can listen to the entire Bible with using the Yodo cards. So it's really, really versatile and flexible. And again, travel amazing because you're not having to hand them iPads, but they're still able to put on headphones and listen to whatever they want. I have one for each kid. That way they don't have to agree on what to listen to and they can have them in their rooms. If there's a kid in your life that already has a Yodo player, you could consider obviously gifting them Yodo cards, or even what I think would mean a lot to me is it's a little bit of effort to do the make your own cards. So if you know what books they like and you go ahead and go through the effort of making them, like, you know, if somebody had given me like the whole Bible on cards, I would have been like, yeah, you saved me a lot of time because you have to go order all the tracks on them. So that would be a really good gift. Or the Yodo Club. They have a Yodo Club where you pay, I don't remember how much it is. It's somewhere in the neighborhood of like $12-ish a month, and you get credits. So you can get a card every month. You can save them up, and you don't pay shipping. You get 10% off. So if they love their Yoda player and you know they want more cards, that would be a really thoughtful gift. All right, this next bundle is de-stressing and relaxing for adults. These are a lot of the activities that I personally have tried to help myself de-stress, and I know so many of us these days are really stressed and just could use these type of activities. So we are going to start with an adult coloring book here. There is an entire, I don't know what to call it, thing out there, a movement out there for adult coloring. I was recently introduced to this world through TikTok, and I've been very intrigued. I only have one so far, but it's a great activity because it doesn't need to take up a lot of space. You don't have to have a lot of supplies. That said, you can definitely buy a lot of supplies, and it's just really easy to have something that's quick and easy to de-stress. It can also, like my kids can do this with me. The other day, I came in with my son and he started coloring with me. So I would just start with a coloring book. I will link, it may not be this exact one, but this same brand of coloring books. I don't know if they still make this one. What I love about this one is, just like a lot of the adult coloring books, they only have coloring pages on one side. That's for bleed through and things like that. This one particularly has bolder lines, so it's not super hard to color, and a lot of the adult coloring does as well. And one of the unique things about this line of coloring books is it's a color by line, kind of like color by number, except you can see we've done this one, you know, part of this one here. It gives you, you're supposed to color whatever color the line is, so that'll indicate to you what color you should color, because I hate having to decide choose colors. So this kind of does that work for you and tells you what color you should color it. It also looks really nice once it's colored in if the line on the outside matches it. I've also seen color by number. With those though, you'll probably want acrylic markers that cover up the number, but this would be just a really fun gift for any adult. And then obviously if you want to take this to the next level, you'll want to get some type of markers that go with it. So the two most popular things in adult coloring are either acrylic markers or alcohol markers. The acrylic markers are just what they sound like. They're literally thin acrylic paint that you're literally kind of painting. They're super fun. They're very vibrant. They'll cover over anything, so you can cover over mistakes better, and you can also cover over if there is like a number or something like that. So this set is very basic and affordable and is a great way to start. And this would be like, just this would be a really nice gift for anyone. If you do want to take it up another notch, alcohol markers are what a lot of people use. They're very blendable. They're very different than just your traditional markers, say for your kids. And these are the ones that we have. These are El Cheapo ones, like super duper cheap. I will link to these if you're looking for the cheap option. They have a fine tip on one side and then a thicker tip on the other side, which is very common of these style of markers. But I've done a lot of research, and by far and away, the most popular brand, it has a very funny name. It's Ohuhu, O-H-U-H-U, okay? But this brand is like, if I get alcohol markers again, or if I were gifting, I would probably get a set of those because they're just kind of like the gold standard. Copic is the true gold standard, the most expensive, the one that true artists use, but they're really expensive, like multiple dollars per marker. But Ohuhu seems to have the best of both worlds in that they're high quality, but they are more affordable. Now they come in like 80 million different sets, different, you know, colors, different groupings of colors, different, you know, nib styles. It can be a little overwhelming. I will link to the one that I would get. It is closer to $50. So you would want to know that the person was truly interested in this before you would get them that. But if they were, and if they were into it at all, they would probably love it, because everyone who has watched, you know, any kind of TikToks or Instagrams on adult coloring has heard of Ohuhu and wants those markers. I guarantee it. All right, so another great de-stressing activity that anyone can do that takes no training, not a lot of space, is puzzles. All right, now I'm not gonna make an entire video on puzzles. I'm just gonna give you a couple of basic ideas for someone who wants to distress, or maybe you already have a puzzle lover in your life and you know they love puzzles. So these little mini puzzles, so cute. Look at how tiny they are. They're 150 pieces. They have teeny tiny pieces. I'll show you. Like this is what the pieces look like. They are so incredibly tiny. And what I was a little overwhelmed when I first got it, but actually I have not found them that difficult. Now I do have pretty decent eyesight. You know, I have corrective lenses, but I think my vision is like 20/40. So I will mention that, you know, I have no problem seeing up close, but, yeah, they were not actually that hard. They're so little when you put them together. I used to do these with my son when he was like even 5-ish. And he would do his little 48-piece bigger puzzles, and I would do these, and we would have a contest to see who could do them faster. He would do like 20 of his little ones, and I would do, you know, one of these. So these are just super cute. They don't take up a lot of space. There's tons of designs. I will link to these, but I've seen more and more companies start making these style of puzzles. So that's a really fun gift, something that they might not already have. Might also be a really good stocking stuffer. Then for people who love puzzles, these puzzle sorting trays, this is roughly around $10-ish. It's not a lot of money. You can stack these and you can sort your pieces, especially when I'm working with other people. We use these all the time. I actually got a second set recently. This is why this is still in the package. So, you know, could work really well if you know, combine it with some puzzles. You could also consider getting one of those tilted puzzle stands to work puzzles on, which will let you like move the puzzle and will help the neck strain, because you really do get a lot of neck strain if you're leaning over like that. So if they tilt up, those would be perfect. Those range in price. A lot of times we're talking the $70-ish range. So, but if you did want to pair those with some puzzles, I think that would be an awesome gift. Then when it comes to puzzles, it really depends a lot on what the person likes. ʀᴏᴜ and Mud Puppy are two of the brands that you're going to be able to find easily, like Barnes & Noble will have them. They are a higher quality than just your cheapy, you know, Walmart puzzle. And they have a lot of designs that aren't too difficult. They have 500 and 1,000 pieces. I'll show you the pieces in here. You know, these are pretty nice quality. So I have a ton of the ʀᴏᴜ Mud Puppy brand. And I would stick with 500 pieces or 400. I would, if you're not sure if the person is someone who loves puzzles, sticking with a smaller puzzle is safer because it's going to be easier, quicker. And I would also stick with easier puzzles so that like ones that could be done in 2 or 3 hours and not take up like, you know, weeks at a time or something like that. Like something like this one, there's a lot of holiday themed ones. If you also know that they love cats, and you can even search like puzzle with dogs, for example, if you know they also love dogs. So I like that with a puzzle, you can combine it with something else you know that they love, which is really, really thoughtful and shows that you know them and you care about them and like you know that they love cats. So this would be like a perfect one for someone like that. In addition, I already talked about Pippi Post puzzles that I love, those 400-piece ones, so easy. ⴅᴇ is another brand. They're made by the exact and fulfilled by the exact same company. They are really good as well. So I will link to those as well, where you can find some really good quality special puzzles. And this next one is a gift that I actually got recently that has been one of my favorite gifts of all time. My family got me these adult Legos that like make a flower bouquet. They just surprised me with them one day after they went out to the store. We have loved these so much. This ranges, I would say we're talking around $50. I don't know exactly. So they're not super cheap. They're designed for adults. You can say that it says 18 plus. That said, myself, my 9 and my 11-year-old worked on it, and my 9 and 11-year-old really didn't even need help. They did fantastic on their own. So I don't think it's not so hard that you have to be 18. I think they were just more designed with like adult designs, but like I wouldn't give these to like my 5-year-old, but kids can work on them as well. And they last forever. So really in any situation where you might get someone flowers, you could get them these instead. Because unlike flowers that are gonna die, these are going to last. I don't love the vase that I have them in. I don't love the red color. I do plan on finding a better vase. Now, if you wanna take this gift up a notch though, I would include the vase and these marble fillers that I have inside with this, and that would be such a thoughtful gift, because once you build these, you're going to need a vase to put them in and display them. So I would include that. And It's super fun. One of the things that I loved is that each one of these is actually an individual stem. So it was pretty easy for multiple people to work on it. It also came in little bags that were numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I took one, I gave my daughter number 2, my son number 3, and we each could work on it. In addition to that, I think this is new recently. Lego has an app. So these different ones will come with an app. I got out my iPad, I scanned it. And so one of us used the actual booklet of instructions, and I used my phone, and I gave my son the iPad, so we each had our own instructions. And the iPad is really nice because it gives you really step-by-step instructions, and you can also rotate the pieces. So if you're a little bit confused and you're like, which piece is that? You can rotate it visually on there, and it just works really well. So I would absolutely recommend these, and pretty much anyone could enjoy putting these together and displaying them. Now, don't forget, if any of these gifts sounded like a good idea for someone in your life, all the links that I talked about are down below. And if you're looking for even more ideas, I've got a playlist of my previous gift guides linked down below. That's especially good if you're looking for really clutter-free practical gifts or experiences.